let me suggest that last times we were able to emphasize or discuss extensively on Slovakia. And so I would like you to use this opportunities while we wait for others, to recap on the Slovakia work visas and the latest development with regards to the legalizations and all that. Maybe you can inject that as part of the extension of the Slovakia offer. While we move to the other part, we're yet to talk about, like the Hungary, Germany, and the Poland. So I think we can start with that.
Of course. So should we start with the Slovakia first?
Yes, the Slovakia first, yeah.
Okay, sure. So for Nigerian, okay, first of all, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Yeva. I will be explaining to you all the ways of the getting to the Europe with the several countries that we can offer to you. So currently we offer the employment in Poland, in the Slovakia, Hungary, Germany, and in Czech Republic. Czech Republic is a new service that we currently provide. Currently, at this date today, I don't have the full information regarding the Czech Republic service as far as it's a new service. And with more detailed information, I will be more acknowledged from the next week. So for today, I can briefly tell you about the Czech Republic, but deeply with all the detailed information, all the remaining countries are available. Let's start with the Slovakia first. So Slovakia employment is employment that is based with the temporary residency. You will be applying for the short-term visa at the embassy. Once you will get to the Slovakia, you will apply with your employer for the temporary residency. And with the help of the temporary residency, you will have a legal base of living and working in Slovakia. The contract between you and the employer will be for 2 years. And so as far as you will be there with the residency, you can find for yourself different employers and different vacancies. So each of you already have personal background with the sphere where you work. Is it sales? Is it plumbing? Is it driving? Doesn't matter. Any background that you have with any CV, certificates, resumes that you have, especially diplomas. With the residency, you can, for example, make your own LinkedIn profile and employers will reach out to you. So basically, you can also, this residency, it's always renewable in the Europe. So you will not need to come back to Nigeria, wait again, apply for the visa. You can just renew your residency and legally stay in the Europe. Potentially, you can stay like up to 3, 5, 7 years while you will be renewing your residency. So with the way how you will be working, we understood it's a residency employment. Regarding the vacancies, currently for the Slovakia employment, 2 vacancies are available. For males, it's a construction helper, and both for males and females, it's a production line worker. Salary is depending totally on how many hours a month you work. So more hours you complete, higher salary you have. Your salary will be approximately from 1,200 up to 2,000 euro. And including that your accommodation and health insurance will be free. You will not need to cover these expenses. So this up to 2,000 euro is a salary that you will have for yourself and you can save up a lot of money from that. So we understood the vacancies and the salary. Duration of your employment in Slovakia on the base of the contract between you and employer will be 2 years. But as explained before, with the residency, you can find later different employers and stay longer in Europe. Basically, we will provide you all the necessary documents for your visa application. Plus, we will be the one who will offer you the employment in Europe. In this case, it's Slovakia. So all the necessary documents for your employment will be sent to you via DHL delivery. Usually it's taking 1 to 2 months to prepare all the supporting documents for the Slovakia. So after up to 2 months, you will receive your documents at your address. Once you will receive all the hard copies of your documents, you will go to the visa embassy. Visa embassy appointment date will be given to you by the employer. So you will not need to register it yourself and wait in the line. You will just receive the appointment date from your employer, and at that particular date, you will go to the embassy and submit all the documents. Once you submitted all the documents, you will be also passing the visa embassy interview at the embassy. So all of the visa applications require the embassy interview. In this case, you will just need to answer questions about yourself. Where are you from? Your family, purpose of your traveling, why do you want to travel, what's the name of your employer. All of this information is personal. Of course, the purpose of your traveling is just employment. Information about your employer you can find in the job offer, in the work permit that we will send you. Everything will be given to you. You will answer the questions, you will submit the documents, and you will receive the visa. Once you will receive the visa, you're flying to Slovakia, and there you meet with your employer. As mentioned before, once you meet with your employer at the airport, he will help you to obtain the TRP, temporary residence permit. Once received, you will continue your employment. Please let me know if regarding Slovakia, any questions or any thoughts. Let me know all the questions that you have so that you will understand the processing clear. If there is no questions for now, or maybe I don't see them, maybe you write them in the text. I don't know. Is it in the chat or?
We don't have questions for now. You can proceed.
Okay, sure, perfect. So if the Slovakia employment was clear, we can continue with the employment in Poland. Employment in Poland is a little bit different than employment in Slovakia, because in case of the employment in Slovakia, as I told you, it will be on the base of the residency. But in the case of the employment in Poland, it is the employment on the base of the work permit. They will issue all the required documents for your visa application type D, employment visa, which is work permit, invitation letter from your employer, accommodation letter, job offer, labor contract, and so on. So basically how the application starts working. Let's start with the vacancies. Vacancies that we provide for the Poland are blue-collar jobs. So it is basically warehouse worker, production line worker, construction helper, caregiver for an elderly person. Additionally, we can offer you a certificate vacancy, which requires CV certificate and experience, is electrician. You can choose one of these vacancies and we can proceed. Regarding the duration of the employment, you can regulate it yourself. You can choose between 1, 2, or 3 years work employment in Poland. For Nigeria passport holders, it is always the best to choose 2 or 3 years work employment, because 1 year may not be enough. Visa embassy can take some time to process the visa, and if it happens like really long time, your work permit may expire, and if so happens, you will not be able to apply. So not to risk any risks and your possibilities of not getting the visa, it is always best to get at least 2 or 3 years. Once you choose for yourself your vacancy and duration, we start the processing of the documents. Usually it's taking 3 to 4 months to get your documents ready for your application to Poland. After 4 months, your documents will be delivered to you via DHL delivery to your home address. You will receive the hard copy of the documents and you will also submit them to the embassy. You will also be passing the visa embassy interview, answering the questions about yourself, purpose of your traveling, your family, your history of anything like your criminal record or traveling, anything. You will answer the questions. Once documents are submitted, you will receive your visa and you will fly to Poland. Once in Poland, our company and your employer, we will meet you at the airport and we will provide you to your accommodation in Poland. Accommodation in Poland, it is free, same as your medical insurance. It's also free. This accommodation that you will receive is a shareable accommodation. You will share this accommodation with your colleagues and co-workers. There is shower, kitchen, garden, everything you will need. Regarding salary, it's the same with the Slovakia. It depends on how many hours a month you're working. So you can work from 160 to 240 hours a month. And your salary will be pretty same as in Slovakia, from 1,200 up to 2,000 euro. Also, if you will work extra work, it also will be paid accordingly. Also, the salary is already including the tax, so you will not need to pay additional tax out of it. After being in Poland officially with our employer for 3 months, you can apply for the TRP, temporary residence permit. In Slovakia, you will have it automatically upon arrival because you will go and apply with it together with the employer to continue with your employment. But in Poland, you can do it after 3 months. Same benefits as with Slovakia. You can find for yourself different employers with the personal background that you have. If you're having the experience in the sales, you can upload your CV and resume to the LinkedIn, and you can be sales worker in Poland. Additionally, you can renew this residency every year. So same as Slovakia, you can potentially stay in Europe 3, 5, 7 years, and so on. One great thing, of course, is the traveling between the Schengen zone. You can travel to Germany, Italy, Norway, and so on. Same as Slovakia. You can also travel between the Schengen zone. Please let me know if you have any additional questions regarding Poland, if everything was clear to you. If no questions, we will just proceed. Sure. If there is no questions regarding the Poland, let's move to the employment in Germany. Germany will be very short because for the Nigerian passport holders, our company can offer you only the skilled positions. Skilled positions such as electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, and so on. If you have diploma and experience in mentioned fields, we can provide for you such employment in Germany. I will not talk a lot about the Germany because we need to firstly see your diploma, and after this we should verify it. If it's verifiable, we can continue with the Germany. For this, if you are particularly interested in the Germany, please let know WESC Nigeria. We will receive your diploma, we will verify it, and we will let you know can we proceed with the Germany. Let's move on to the Hungary. Hungary is a seasonal employment that lasts 6 months. But after 6 months, you can also make it longer, and you can make it up to 1 year. So seasonal employment in Hungary, available vacancies are such as picking the vegetable and fruits from the farm. This is the only available vacancy for now, as far as it's a season of fruits and vegetables right now in the summer. So salary is approximately also from 1,200 up to 1,800 euros. Plus also the same accommodation is included. You will also be applying in the Hungary for the employment card. Also together with your employer, it's similar to the TRP, but it has some differences. But basically the same. You will have the chance to stay legally and work legally in the Hungary. Including, I told you already, it includes the accommodation and free health insurance. This vacancy is available both for males and females, aged from 18 to 55 years old. Usually the processing of the documents takes like up to 3 months, and after this it will be the same delivered to you via DHL delivery. Once you receive the documents in hard copy, you will go to the embassy, submit the documents to apply for the short stay visa. You are applying for that, you receive the visa and fly to Hungary. In Hungary, you will meet with our company and the employer, and we will provide you to your accommodation. Once you receive your accommodation and health insurance, you can start your employment. Please let me know if everything was clear to you regarding employment in Hungary, or do you have any particular questions to me? Sure. If there is no questions regarding the Hungary, we can move on to the last service that we currently offer. It's Czech Republic. So Czech Republic is a new service. Actually, we had it already before, but because of the changes in the jurisdiction rules and requirements, we had to stop the process. But recently it came back, rules were changed again, and we can offer you again Czech Republic employment. So employment in the Czech Republic is the employment that is based on the employee card. In the case of the employee card, it's very similar to the TRP that was mentioned before as in Slovakia. So for example, basically how it works. You're also applying for the short-term visa. You're traveling to the Czech Republic. In Czech Republic, you will meet with our company and the employer. An employer will help you to obtain the employee card. Employee card is the name of the basically TRP, but in Czech Republic, it's called employee card. With the employee card, you will be able the same to stay legally and work in Czech Republic. Employee card brings you also great benefits, the same as the temporary residence that I told you about before. You can travel freely between the Schengen zone countries. You can travel to Italy, Norway, Spain, and so on, Austria. Additionally, you can also, with the employee card, once your contract with the employer will end, you can still continue your residency there, and you can find for yourself your own employers with the background that you have. You can work as a sales manager, caregiver, driver, whatever background you have. So basically, currently, I don't know the full list of the vacancies, but they are pretty same with the I mentioned before. It's a blue-collar jobs. So it'll be like production line worker, warehouse worker, packaging operators, and so on. The full list of vacancies I can provide later to Mr. Olawale Okupe, and he will provide you with vacancies if you would be interested to continue with the Czech Republic. The duration of the Czech Republic employment is the same as Slovakia. It's for 2 years. So basically, you choose for yourself a vacancy and we start the processing of your documents. Usually it's taking up to 2 months to get your documents ready for the employment in the Czech Republic. Once they will be ready, the same day will be delivered to you via DHL delivery. You will receive the hard copy of the documents and you will submit them to the embassy. Once you submitted the document and passed the visa embassy interview, you are receiving the short-term visa. You're traveling to Czech Republic, meet up with your employer, and your employer will help you to obtain the employee card in Czech Republic. Once you receive your employee card, you can start your employment and continue with the employer. Once the contract with your employer will end, you can, for example, continue with finding for yourself your own employers. As I told you, you can upload your CV certificates in the LinkedIn, or of course, if you will not have any problems with the current employer, if you will perform your skills well, you can continue employment now with your employer. He will issue a new contract and you can just proceed. Please let me know if there was any additional questions regarding Czech Republic or generally regarding any type of service that we provide.
Okay, well, there are some questions in the chat box you might want to look at.
I'm sorry, it's not I don't really know how to use Zoom. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. How long does the Slovakia processing generally take? So Slovakia processing is one of the fastest. It's 1 to 2 months. Please, is there presently any jobs available now? Yes, I have basically, look, for the Slovakia, it will be production line worker, construction helper. For Poland, it will be warehouse worker, production line worker, caregiver, construction helper, and electrician. For the Hungary, it is picking vegetables and fruits from the farm. For the Germany, as I told you, you will firstly need to have the diploma that will be verified by the ANA-BIN for the standards of Germany. Firstly, you will need to send the diploma that you have. If you're interested in the Germany particular, we will verify your diploma, and after this, we can offer you the vacancies if we have any. And regarding the Czech Republic, for now, I don't have the exact list of the vacancies for the Czech Republic, but it's basically vacancies that I just mentioned. It will be packaging operator, warehouse worker, production line worker, and so on. Is there a proof of funds requirement? Basically, all the visa requires the proof of funds. It doesn't matter for what visa you're applying. Is it a studying visa? Is it a visit visa? Is it employment visa, business visa, family visa? Doesn't matter. You need to always have proof of funds. If you don't have any type of amount saved, we recommend you just to borrow some money from your friends and relatives, or if you don't have such chance, to take a loan from the bank. You will just save this money in your bank account. You don't need to spend this money. You will just apply for the visa to show the embassy that you have funds. Once you receive your visa, at the same day, you can give all the money back to your friends and relatives or to the bank. Caregiver jobs available in Czech Republic. I will clarify that and I will let you know. Production line worker, I need. Great, you can let know WESC Nigeria and we will continue with your application. Does one need IELTS for Czech Republic? No, no type of IELTS is needed. This for sure. What is the value of proof of funds required? You should always clarify it with the embassy. As far as your Nigerian passport holders, you should contact the embassy in Abuja and you should ask them what is exactly the amount you need for the particular type of visa that you will be applying. And they will give you the exact amount you should have on your bank account. This requirement is just to prove that once you will be in Europe, if there will be any emergency, that you will be able to host yourself, to cover for yourself, right? If you will, I don't know, something bad will happen to you, like emergency situation, that you will have a chance to cover it for yourself. You will have a medical insurance in most cases. For the Germany, I'm not sure that we provide medical insurance, but please, what is the requirement for the production line worker? This is the blue collar jobs. It's a labor work. You will be taught at your place of work how to do your job. You don't need to have any requirements. Basically, the only requirement is to have the valid international passport and to be aged between 18 to 55 years old. Because embassy usually requires employment for people up to 55 years old. If you're older than 55, it is harder to get the visa. Does one need to learn a language before moving to Czech Republic? No, you don't need to learn the language. Generally, Schengen zone countries, they fluently speak English. There is no requirement for that. Only Germany depends on the embassy. Maybe I will be requiring the Germany language, at least at A2 level. Is there healthcare assistance jobs available in Poland and Slovakia? In Slovakia, no. Unfortunately, Slovakia only construction helper and production line work. For what I know, generally we don't provide the medical vacancies like hospital, but we can offer you the employment as a caregiver. In most cases, in cases of Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Poland, you will have a chance to apply for the residency. With the case of the residency, as I told you, you have a legal right to live and work in Europe. You can create your own LinkedIn profile, upload your CV, certificates, diplomas, and employers will reach out to you. Doesn't matter what vacancy you have. If you're interested in the healthcare, you can upload your diploma. If the employer will like it, he will reach out to you and offer you the employment. You have a legal right, TRP. Please, is there presently any jobs available now? Yes, as I told you, if you're talking about the healthcare, no, we do not offer healthcare position. Only related one can be the caregiver. For now, I don't have any more questions. Everyone, if you have any type of questions, please leave it in the chat. Slovakia and Germany caregiver unavailable. Germany will be like, for Germany, 100% no. Slovakia, no. Slovakia, only 2 vacancies available. As I told you many times, it's a construction helper and production line worker. Where is the available production line? Available which country? It's for sure Poland, for sure Slovakia, and 90% sure Czech Republic. Are there IT-related job vacancies available? No, no IT-related. Generally, you should understand for the employment in Europe, if you want to have a high-skilled vacancy employment, the company should be really interested in you. Europe is usually interested in the labor works, warehouse position, production line worker positions. It's easier to get visa with such vacancies. As I told you once, in Europe, you can apply for the residency and find employment for your background.
Hello, Yeva. I would like you to let us know how long residency takes in these countries. Okay, how long does it take to get your permits to stay or your passports? How many years does it?
Sure. So all of it really depends on the consulate. In each country, like Poland or Germany, I don't think Germany provides a residence permit later because it's G7. So let's talk about Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Hungary maybe. So especially Poland, Slovakia, and Czech Republic. It all depends on the consulate and what waiting line they have of the applicants. Each month can be different. 1 month, for example, in May, it can take up to 1 month. In, in June, it can take up to 3 months to get the residency, but it's not that long. While the clients are still working with the contract of the employer, because all the contracts have at least 1 year. You can just, after required months, apply for the residency and so on. In case of the Slovakia and Czech Republic, clients are automatically, once arrived at the airport, meeting with the employer, and very soon they together apply for the residency, or in the case of Czech Republic, it's employee card. So there will be assistance on how to apply to that and so on. But exact timeline I cannot provide. It depends on the consulate. Are these employment opportunities certain? Yes, we 100% guarantee you employment in Europe. We have several employers, verified employers, legit employers, and we offer you employment with them. Which of these countries offers permanent residency? So a temporary permanent residency offers like automatically upon arrival will be Slovakia and Czech Republic. But in case of Poland, after 3 months of working with the work permit, you can also apply successfully for the TRP. So both three, Poland, Slovakia, and Czech Republic. Because Hungary is a seasonal employment for 6 months. So I'm not sure will you have a chance to apply for the residency. And in Germany, generally, residence permit is very hard to obtain. You need to have very specific documents, relations, employment types, and so on.
Yeva.
Sure.
Let me intercept you a bit. All right, I want you to emphasize on the what do you call it, the legitimacy of the job, and the what do you call it, how sure it is, you know, that everyone who apply will surely get an offer, a verifiable offer, okay, from the employers that we work with across board. So I want you to really emphasize on that.
Sure. So we, as a company, we work in this field for over 6 years, and we have verified employers with who we have a really long-term relations, who always update us, and if any type of vacancy is unavailable, we are taking it out. So how to know that we provide and make legit offers of the works in Europe is, of course, to check our registration numbers. But you're working with the company WESC Nigeria, so I cannot offer you that. But it's because we offered this employment for so long. I don't really know how to answer these questions because we work with the verified employers. This is how you can know.
Okay, so then I also want you to distinguish between getting an offer and the guarantee of getting a visa. All right, because majority of the applicants always, you know, believe that the moment they made payment, then that will cater for the success of the whole application, knowing fully well that most of the documents they are going to provide is going to be coming from them, and it is also subject to the prerogative of the consulate. So I want you to speak in that regard so that they can understand how it works, that it is not a rocket science. It is a process that is going to be determined by the legalizations of their documents, how authentic their document is. And what we can guarantee is the fact that the offer we give to them, they are verifiables and they are legitimate, they are from the right sources. They can at any point in time interact or interact or mail their employers to verify the sources of those offers. So can you please speak on that?
Of course. Yes, I forgot to mention regarding the Slovakia employment. Currently, from the July 7th, there was established a new requirement from the embassy. As far as in the case of the employment in Slovakia, Nigeria doesn't have a consulate. So you will need to travel to the Kenya, the capital Nairobi. And in Nairobi, you will need to have the super legalization process. What is super legalization? Basically, the documents that you will need to provide to the embassy from your side, such as birth certificate, your passport, other like diplomas, and so on. Everything that you will have, your personal documents, you will need to verify that they are legit. They're actually issued with the right authorities. The process of the super legalization will be next. You will, of course, need to know the exact list of the documents that must be super legalized for the Slovakian. This super legalization process is only for the Slovakia. Employment in the Czech Republic or employment in Poland, Germany, and Hungary doesn't require super legalization. You will need to know the exact list of the document that must be verified and super legalized. So, for example, you will contact the embassy in Abuja. They will let you know the list. This list of the documents, you will need to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and you can also will need to make them registered and liable in Nigeria. Once you will make that, you will need to travel to Kenya and finally legalize the documents there, because you don't have the embassy in Nigeria. So you will need to have the embassy to do that. That's why you will need to travel to Kenya, legalize it there. Once you will legalize and finish the super legalization process, you're coming back to Nigeria and continue with the processing. Once already in Kenya, you can already try to apply to the embassy depending on the appointment date that you will receive and everything, what date it will be arranged. So this is about the super legalization process. Regarding the visa and how generally you receive it and how sure you are that you will receive the visa. Basically, visa decision is, of course, always made by the embassy. There is no one else who can make this decision, or someone who can influence or that, or some document that you will bring that 100% will be with the visa. No, everything is very personal and each case is very individual. First of all, everything depends on you and how you perform yourself, what documents you provide, how fluent you speak, and so on. Of course, first of all, you will need to have a fluent English in the way of communication. There is no need to have some very big knowledge of English, just a free speech that you can answer the questions. Because at the embassy, you will be asked several questions about yourself, as I mentioned before, when submitting the documents. Generally, the embassy just wants to hear two main things: that you travel to Europe with no bad intentions, you will not legally overstay, you will not do any illegal jobs, you will not, do some illegal activities there. And second of all, that you will actually come back to the Nigeria. It's always, as I mentioned before, better to have a family, kids, car, home waiting you back in Nigeria as a purpose of your coming back. Right? Because if you don't have family, if you don't have car, if you don't have home, if you don't have anything, then it will be questionable from the embassy. They may think that, oh, this person doesn't have anything in their homeland. They will come to Europe and they will stay there illegally. Of course, it doesn't mean 100% they will think of it, but there can be doubts. It's about that. So once you prove that you're a legitimate applicant that doesn't have any bad, illegal, false intentions, you will actually receive the visa and you can fly to the Europe. Of course, you will also must submit all the required list of the documents. All the required list of the documents, you must always contact the embassy. If it's regarding the employment in Slovakia, you must contact the embassy in Kenya, in Nairobi. If it's employment regarding Poland, you should contact the embassy of Abuja in Nigeria. They will provide you all the required documents that you must submit. If you submit all the required documents, if you pass the visa embassy interview, you are guaranteed with the employment, with the visa, of course, I'm sorry. So of course, also you will need to provide the certificate of the police clearance that you didn't kill anyone, you didn't rob the bank, you're not a murderer. If you were able to provide that, there's always higher chances for your visa. Let me know if the answer that you, Mr. Olawale, asked was sufficient with my reply.
Okay, thank you for that submission. So you can go ahead with other questions. I'm going to ship in some other questions spontaneously as you are responding to their questions, so that to provide a balance, balance view to all the offers.
Of course.
All right.
So basically, what is the success rate for the caregiver opportunities in Germany or Poland? There is no such thing generally as a success rate. Success rate is always individual and personal. If the person has all the required documents, if the person understands the processing, if the person contacted the embassy and knows the full list of documents that are required for the application, then you have high success. But if the same person that applies with the same documents from the company, but doesn't know English very well, didn't check the required amount of the documents that should be submitted to the embassy, the person has a criminal record before, like for example, the person was in jail for 4 years. Such things always affect your visa and decision on your visa. So success is always individual. The same documents can have very different impact on different people. Can family independent come too? No, we provide the employment. Employment visa means you are personally going to the Europe with the purpose of employment. You don't want to come with your kids and family. You just want to come and work. You can come with your family can come and visit you after some time on the purpose of the visit visa. You can make the invitations in Europe, make them notarized, and with the help of these invitations, your family can come and visit you. Which currency do they pay the workers in each of the countries? The national currency of the country. In Poland, it will be Polish zloty. In Slovakia, it will be euro. Germany, it will be euro. And Czech Republic, it will be also euro. Does one need to pass the German language for a care? There is no caregiving position in the Germany. I answered this question before. But generally, Germany applications, they require the language knowledge, at least some. Like A1, A2 is required. For now, I didn't receive more questions. Please leave all the questions that you have for right now. Okay, there is no more questions. I guess I answered everything that could possibly be asked. For now, if that's all, kindly run a list of the jobs in Germany once more, please. So you should firstly let the WESC Nigeria know what diploma do you have. Regarding your diploma, we can check what vacancies can be available for you, because your diploma should be verified first.
Yeva.
Sure.
Okay, somebody is asking a question. He's saying, kindly run a list of the jobs in Germany once again. And then it's important to emphasize that they are skilled work and the minimum requirements that is expected of the person who applying to provide. So maybe in terms of requirements. So can you quickly run that again?
Sure, one moment. I need to open. Yes, so currently available positions are these: facade workers, painters, plasterers, plumbers, electricians, welder, masons, concreters, tilers, and roofers. This is the whole list of vacancies. Only male vacancies are available. For these positions, you must have a diploma in the specific field. And also after this diploma should be also verified with the requirements of the Germany Ministry of Affairs. So basically, does your diploma match the requirements of the diplomas in Germany? If it's verified, we can continue. But first of all, you at least should have diploma in these fields, and the German knowledge of level, let's say A1, A2 is better. It's not always must required to know the German, but sometimes if they can have such questions, it's always better. But you can always learn some German, you know. A1 is not that hard. If you really want to work in Germany, you can learn A1 like in about 2-3 months.
Okay, let me add this. So since the requirement is a diploma, all right. So does the diploma needs to be on the same field the person is applying, or the person just need to have a diploma certificate in any field, then is he or she is
That's the point. Of course, diploma should match the vacancy that the person is requiring.
okay. So it's important for them to have that understanding that
Of course, sure,
whatever
because the embassy, yes, they will be asking, like, Germany is generally, Germany is G7, so the embassy will be asking a lot of questions to you, and they want to be sure that you are applying with the right intentions so much. So if you're applying for the skilled position, you must have the diploma that matches this position, which indicates the purpose of the travel.
Absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. So let me check if we have. Then another person is asking, how much will it cost to process this job? So if you want to know the costs, send us a DM on WhatsApp. You will get information about the costs. Depending on the number of years of offers you want. For the Poland, we have 1 year, we have 2 years, we have 3 years, we have 1 year. So it depends on the offers. Or the durations of the offers that you are requesting for. Then another person is asking for persons that have been an entrepreneur for long. Would there be work experience required outside of what they do? Do you get the question?
One moment. For persons have been an interpreter for long, will there be work experience required outside of what they do? What country are we talking about?
Let's assume, of course, you have made it clear for the Germany that if you are applying, it must be that it's your previous degree must align with your interest in your job offer interest. So which means that if there is no alignment, then there is disqualifications, you cannot apply, and you have a tendency that when you get to the embassy, your applications may be denied. Okay, but in case of those who have been an entrepreneur for a long time, do they need work experience on some of this job, outside what they've been practicing? That's what they're asking.
Sure. So basically, if you're talking for the position of the electrician or maybe the construction helper, experience is maybe required. But if you're talking about the warehouse, packaging operator, production line worker, the experience is not must required. You will be taught how to do your job at the place of work, so it is not required.
So invariably, so what we're saying is that the offers that has to do with skill job, okay, the person must have a prior knowledge of it, and at the same time also must have a certifications to back that up, okay, in terms of the degree. But there are some unskilled job like the production line workers, okay, and factory workers that does not need special skills. The person will be trained on the job, on the process, and then it will be also the process of integrations will be established to ensure that the person is able to discharge his or her duty, conveniently. All right.
Yeah.
Another person is asking, I think, do have, okay.
I replied all of the questions in the chat.
Okay, so I'm sure that if you are not clear about some of those questions, you can always send us a private message. We'll provide clarity on any of the question for you. And then don't forget the reason for this meeting or this webinar is for you to have a direct to ask direct questions from our partners, and then at the same time also to be able to clear your doubts so that you can be rest assured that you're dealing with the right complaints, and your investment, your fund is is secured, and because what we can guarantee is that whatever kobo is we're collecting from you is going directly to them. You can see we have to pay for this offer. So can you talk about again, for the sake of those who were not present last week, about why they are paying for the offer? Because some are still asking, is it not possible for them to get this offer? When they get there, the employer can take their passport while they pay back their money. So can you speak about that?
Sure. Regarding the after payment and sponsorship jobs and such type of vacancies and opportunities. Generally, any type of sponsorship is always very risky because you don't have the exact contract, you don't have the exact thing that you will receive on your hands. You're going there and hoping for the better. And this is basically how people who offer actual sponsorship, if it's actually even possible, because I personally don't even know the companies. I've worked in this field for so long that offer a sponsorship, especially for the European countries. Because for traveling to Europe, you must have a visa. And visa is issued only by the embassy. So if you don't have the required amount of money to proceed with the documents required for the application, if you don't have the money for the air ticket, if you don't have the money for the visa embassy fee, then how you can even travel to Europe? This is how sponsorship companies that exist, they are looking for the people who are poor, who don't have like parents usually, who don't have someone who will protect them. Because what will they do? They will use them as a free, or even not free, but very cheap labor. Basically, usually the sponsorship companies, they issue the fake visas with which you're coming to the Europe. But once in Europe, they meet with you and they take out your passports. They take out your phones. They don't give you proper accommodations. A lot of people are sleeping in the basements. They take out you. You don't have contact connection to your family. You don't have the chance to leave the Europe because you're there illegally. They are paying you much less than the actual wage should be given to you, and basically they are using you as a very cheap labor. And these people, they are staying in the Europe 3-5 years because they don't have a passport. They cannot leave the country. And after this, once, for example, they find a chance to leave, because nothing is impossible. Once they understand how they can actually leave, they contact the government authorities in Europe. They explain, look, I have been like this. I want to come back. They don't pay. I live in the basement and so on. Authorities understand that you entered illegally on the base of the fake visa. They deport you immediately. And after this, you basically have a ban for entering the Europe. You will have a ban minimum of 10 years or even till the rest of your life. So this is why sponsorship jobs are very risky. You're going to someone with no guarantee, with no experience, with no website, with no registration in Europe. You're just hoping for the better. And usually this is what the type of people they're looking for, people who just hope for the hope. If you are looking for the legal migration, for the legal services, everything is paid. In this world, unfortunately, nothing is free. You don't eat the bread and you don't pay for the bread after you ate it. So this is how I wanted to explain to you. If you don't believe me, you can check the TLC or BBC News. There's a lot of programs talking about this actual experience of people, how they are found in basements, like 50 people closed, and the police is saving them. If you want, you can make research. You can find related videos.
So, what do you call it? In nutshell, it is important that we emphasize on this because the reality is that large numbers of people that perhaps are qualified for these offers don't have the resources. All right, and majority of them have been scammed severally, on the basis of on sponsorship. All right, and it's important for us to continue to disorientate them about, the idea of sponsorship, because it's not going to favor them at, in the long run. And then, of course, they don't seem to get also the rights for them to hand the what is entitled of them, in those destination countries they eventually move to. So that's why I really wanted you to re-emphasize on it, that the best form of opportunity you can, the best form of opportunity you can undertake is the one that you paid for genuinely, that is coming from the right sources. And then also, let me also ask this question for the sake of those who are skeptical about either visas, which of course you and I, or we cannot guarantee visas 100%. Documents comes from them. Some of them even have bad travel history that could come to harm them, when they're applying for some of these things. Okay, and that's why it's always good for them to own up their antecedents, their traveling antecedent, for us to be able to guide accordingly. What can you say concerning that?
I'm sorry, I didn't really understand the question. Like, do you mean regarding the fake visas or what exactly?
Okay, I'm saying that some of them, okay,
Bad travel history.
yes, their traveling history, okay, sometimes can come to harm them when they're applying for some of these offers, because if they don't tell us that they have traveled or they have a traveling band at one point in time, okay, and they come to us for this application, there is every tendency that they don't get the visa. And the idea is that it will be as if we did not do what we ought to do for them. Meanwhile, they have outstanding issues that they do not communicate prior to the times they engage us. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Of course. Your visa decision can be also made, as Mr. Olawale mentioned just right now, about your travel history, of course. So the applicants who actually have a good travel history, let's talk about them first, who travel to several countries, or at least even to one country abroad, they still have higher chances for the visa, because embassy sees that you're a legitimate traveler who traveled at least one or several countries. You travel, and you always come back to your home country. This is a good sign for them. It's a green flag that they're like, okay, it's good. It's a person who knows, who travels, who understands the rules. The applicants who don't have any travel history, you have always been in your home country, which in your case is, Nigeria. In the case, if you're always in Nigeria, it's not bad, it's not good. I mean, it's still good, but it's not excellent. But it's 100% not something bad. You have always been in Nigeria, and I don't know, for example, at this time, you've been always working in your country, and you want a better life. You want a higher salary, and you have an employer who is interested in you in Europe. If you will provide all the necessary documents, if you will answer all the questions from the embassy, there is high chances for your visa, because the fact that you didn't travel doesn't change anything. You have been always in your country, you don't have criminal record, you want better life. It's okay. But in case if you have a bad travel history, you validated the rules of the previous country that you traveled to before, this can be a reason of problem. It's a red flag, because you're the person who traveled, I don't know, to Uganda, South Africa, Zimbabwe, I don't know, for example, right? India, whatever country, Thailand. If you travel there and they see that, for example, you have a stamp, and you have a stamp, next one, like first stamp of the entry of the border, you entered and you left, second stamp of the leaving the country, like let's say 2 years later, they will ask, okay, I see in your passport history that you traveled to India in 2019. You have been there for 2 years. Could you please let us know what were you doing there? And they will want to know everything that you've been, because you've been in another country for 2 years. They want to know, did you overstay there illegally for 2 years? Or did you have the residency? Did you have the employment? Did you have the studying there? Depending on what answers you will provide, how you will prove them that you did nothing illegal will be depending also the decision. Is it a red flag or is it a green flag of your application? So if you have actually the bad travel history, you validated the rules of the previous countries before, it's a red flag for the application. It still doesn't mean that you will not receive the visa, but this may affect your visa. That's it.
Okay. Let me also add that, let me ask for the benefit of those who are not connected to this meeting. Okay. As to, concerning the offer, does the offers allow them to double, to undertake another job aside the ones they are going for?
Yes, I already explained it to the applicants a lot of times actually in the chat. As I explained before, 3 countries, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, you will be on the case of the residency, TRP and employee card. But this case, you can find yourself employers. You have a legal base to stay, live, and work in Europe. So you can provide yourself with a LinkedIn profile. You can upload your resume, certificates, diploma that you have, and employers will reach out to you regarding your background. You can work with the background that you have.
No, but I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying is that those who are on the job, okay, that feels that they have the capacity to do other jobs, for them to earn more money. Can they do that?
You mean, I mean, it really depends. So you mean like, for example, one position 8 hours, another position 8 hours, like 16 hours a
Yeah.
day? Yes,
Yeah.
so basically the person can work from 160 to 240 hours a month. If 240 hours a month are not exceeded, the applicant can work as much as long as she wants.
Okay. What about those that might be interested in going to school while they are working? Is that allowed?
Yes, so basically you should first of all, of course, verify it with the embassy, the consulate of the country, because you will have, for example, once you will be on the case of the residency, yes, you can. But if you will be on the case of the work permit in Poland, you should firstly apply for the residency. Once you receive your residency, you can find in your free time, you can visit the school, you can travel, whatever you desire.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
So, any other questions? I'm sure we cannot exhaust all the questions for everyone today. I believe that somebody is asking, okay, for the person who is asking for the cost of the Poland package, kindly send us a message, a direct message. All right, you have been responded to. Send us a direct message on WhatsApp. You get we have different types of packages, so it depends on the package you are interested in. Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? So kindly send us a direct message. You'll be responded to. Thank you. You don't have to repeat the questions. Your question is seen, so kindly send us a message and we will attend to you. Thank you. So somebody is asking, by diploma, you mean any university or polytechnic results here? A diploma is a college certificate.
No, it's a university, of course, diploma.
You said?
Diploma from university, but you can try to send the college if it's gonna be verifiable by Anabin, if it's gonna match the standards of the Germany requirements. Yes, we can proceed. We should firstly verify it.
Okay, so you mean a university diploma?
Yes, like it may be also the college diploma. Just it should be verifiable. If it's gonna get verified, we can proceed.
So not all bachelor programs are what do you call it? Some college certificate, also diploma programs are verifiable. Okay.
Certificates,
So
no.
you could
It
also,
should be exactly the degree, the diploma from school, university, or whatever. And after this, we can verify it, but not certificate for German.
okay. Okay, so from Shinemere, well, if you have a bachelor degree, that is an added advantage, so that which is good. All right, so that is good to go, and it must align with the job of your interests on the list of jobs that we are offering.
Of course.
Okay, you're welcome. Sosa, can you please take over from there?
Okay, thank you so much, Eva. Thank you to everyone that stayed this long. I would just like us to go to our Instagram page at WESC Nigeria and follow us on Instagram to get updates. Okay, as WESC Nigeria, we are interested in your progress, and we deal with study abroad, okay, work, any traveling opportunity that is available. We also run healthcare training programs that is very affordable, the most affordable you would get around. So please do reach out to us on any of the numbers that I've posted on the message chat box, and also reach out to us if you have more questions. If you want to begin, just send a message to any of these numbers, and then we would be glad to follow up with you. Please
Okay, let
handle on
me also
Instagram. Okay.
excuse me, let me add that Yuva.
Sure.
Okay. Can you hear me? So
Yes.
we'll be meeting again next week Friday, because we have to section those attendees so that we don't have the place overcrowded. So there are some people that have been booked for next week because we cannot accommodate all of them for this meeting. So we'll meet again next week Friday to have these conversations again.
Of course.
All right.
Sure. And see you soon. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.